Hey everybody, you are about to watch the Dr. Jaime Show. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello and welcome to the Dr. Jaime Show. I am so happy that you are here to celebrate this happy Friday with me. The Dr. Jaime Show is all on increasing your success, happiness, and likability. And today we have on the show Toby Martini, Improvacateur. How you like that? Look at that. And we are going to talk about improv and public speaking. Do you really picture the crowd naked? He's saying only for fun. So we are going to chat about all things improv and public speaking today. So the chat, go ahead and call in with your questions. Facebook, go ahead and message in your questions on the chat. We'll ask them live today on the Dr. Jaime Show. So let me give you a rundown of what to expect in the coming weeks. So next week is Black Friday. Go shopping. Enjoy your family on Thursday. We are not going to hang out, but I will have some shows going through audio. So don't worry, you're not going to completely miss me. We are having, actually, after this show, I'm doing an audio that'll be posted later on today and then into next week for you. One is going to be on how to protect yourself during Cyber Monday, and the other is going to be on the dark web. What is the dark web? How can we protect ourselves, our privacy, safety, security, etc.? So that's going to be super fun episode that you'll be able to hear in place of the Dr. Jaime Show next week. But on December 1st, we're having Lance, a trading coach, on the show, along with Chris Jenkins from the Symphony Agency, and we are going to chat about cryptocurrency. So send in all of your questions on Bitcoin or anything in that genre and that field, and we will chat about that, answer your questions. It's super cutting edge topic, really in the media right now, all this cryptocurrency stuff. So send in your questions. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the downright profitable in that segment. Then on the 8th, we have Debbie Lundberg on the show with Presenting Powerfully. I want you, I kind of like the way that we have this segmented, I guess. So we've got Toby on today, and then we've got Debbie on in a couple weeks. And I want you to take a little bit of what Toby says and a little bit of what Debbie says, take the best of both worlds and sort of formulate the way that you can speak to people and taking bits and pieces from each of them. And then you get the guy's perspective and you also get a woman's perspective. So he's clever. So then on the 5th, we have Ellie Hirsch on the show. She is the founder of the Mommy Masters, and we're going to have a parenting segment. So throw in any questions you have about parenting on that episode. And then on the 22nd, yes, the 22nd of December, as in the end of the year, I can't believe that we're having on astrological coach Marty Montez to talk to us about your specific sign and what you can expect in 2018. So, and then in January, just a quick rundown. I'll give you the people and all that in a couple weeks. We're going to have a firearm segment, believe it or not, and I'll give you a story on that, maybe a special story on that. So we have a firearm segment. We have another parenting segment, which, by the way, Sapna Shah came on the show on an audio version earlier last week, I think it is. She's gotten like 1,000 views on this audio as we talk about how do you talk to your children about mass shootings and terrorist attacks. Not something we want to talk about. I'd much rather call her and say, you know, how do we get the pacifier out of a kid's mouth before age 3? But the truth is we're facing these mass shootings all the time, and our kids are finding out about them, and we need to talk to them about it. So if you want to catch that episode, it's a quick episode, but super informative. Go to YouTube, and you can go ahead and check out that episode with Sapna and how we can talk to our kids. But anyway, she'll be on the show live here in January. And then we're having a woman power hour. These women are in fields that are for men, right? Okay. The finance fields, the science fields. No longer. These fields are for both men and women. And they are going to talk to us about how to speak up to men, how to go with your gut, how to achieve in a field that isn't dominated by women. So that is going to be a really, really fun show. I'm excited for that one. That's going to be on the 19th. Okay, so the Come See Our World, I talked to you about that 2 weeks ago. So I invested in the company with Colette right here. Come See Our World. They're CBD oils. They're daily supplements, and do me a favor, go check them out if you are interested in partnering with me. It's the hemp oils, it's the coconut oils, it's the CBD oils. You can go to my website, which is Dr. Jaime, make sure you spell it right, JAIME.com, crworld.com. You can find out a little bit about the product, how you can partner with me, etc. You would be getting it at a super high level, and that's one of the reasons that I invested in it. So feel free to kind of check that out, email me with questions. All right, what else do I want to talk to you about? For those of you that weren't here during the pre-show, I finally have a date on the CNBC show that I will be on, The Job Interview. It will be airing as of now on December 20th. So if you want to see that episode, December 20th, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific Time, you can watch me interview some people. I can't give away too many details, but I know you're going to love this segment, so check it out. And then I wanted to share with you, before we bring out Toby, I wanted to share with you a little bit of what I did this week. So I think I told you all a few weeks ago, I went to University of Tampa and spoke to some college students, right? Okay. Well, then yesterday I went to my boys' school and I spoke to their school on, what is it? The Great American Teach-In, it was called, right? So, you know, there's a point in everyone's career where you start saying, I'm not speaking for free anymore. I'm not going to do that for free. I'm there, but I'm not there enough to say, no, I won't speak for 45 minutes to college students for free. No, I'm not going to come to the Great American Teach-In and teach second graders without you paying me $10,000. Not there. I don't think I'll ever be there. I don't want to be there, and I'll tell you why. So I went there because I believe in teaching youth about confidence and motivation and feelings and emotion and how to handle them. And I wasn't expecting anything, but on the same day, I got a book from the second grade class of 11 thank yous. Of course, you're so beautiful, loved your shoes. But one said in there, you taught me how to smile again. Another says, now I know I won't have to fail all of my tests. We talk about confidence, and one of the things that I do is with Wesley and Blake, before school on test day, like Wesley had a test today, I give them confidence. So I'm like, oh my God, I know I packed it, hold on. And I like look around, and then I like lift up like in my car, and I'm like, oh, here it is, like in the car console. Here it is, Wesley, hold on, it's a big dose of it today. And I give them this invisible confidence. They do good on, knock on wood, like all their tests, right, Wes? And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because confidence is the key to success, whether you are in the second grade or whether you're in college or whether you're way, way many moons out of school. So anyways, it is better than money when you receive 11 pages of, you taught me how to smile again. Now I know I won't fail every test. I will be a dancer. I will be an astronaut. I will be a scientist. That is amazing. On the same day I got that, the college students sent me a card, and it says, our favorite part of the presentation is, and I get to read what they loved about it. And there was a point in this presentation where I talked about, especially to the women, the importance of speaking up, right? Because as women, we don't always do that. Well, guess what? A guy wrote in here to me, and he said, I'm definitely going to take all your tips regarding speaking up more in my life. So it was awesome. Even more awesome than hearing a girl say that was a guy, because it was directed toward the women, but yet the guys still take the tips too. So that was really awesome for me. So better than money sometimes is doing something that you're passionate about for people that are struggling, or young people, or elderly people, and finding a way to give back. So I felt really accomplished by that. So sharing that with you. Okay, one last thing before we bring out Toby. I just wanted to thank our sponsors. And guys, the sponsor list is getting so long. So I'm reading off my cheat sheet right now. Taste of Tampa Bay and Street Surfer, thank you so much for your sponsorship and all the food that you're going to bring to us on the 16th. Kennedy Space Center, On Point Executive Center, Patricia Palma Law Offices, Ink Graphics, Chill Lounge Night, Rick Talcida with visual photography, the Thompson Mug Company, which, yes, if you're wondering what these super awesome mugs are, yes, mugs. They float. You can have them poolside. They can put any baseball team on here. They're going to do a better job of telling you exactly how amazing this is if you go to the Thompson Mug Company Facebook page right now. These are the best gifts. Girls, if you don't know what to get your man, here you go, right here. And probably get them like beer with it too. Yes. So you can pour it in there. The guys in the back are nodding yes. Awesome. So check those out, the Thompson Mug Company. Okay, and then Fuente Cigars, The Bug Slayer, Florida Firearms Academy, who will be on the show in January, Nicole Lancaster Aesthetics, ABCT's. Nicole is actually having a glam studio at the party, at the December 16th party, so we're really excited. ABCT's, I can't wait to get your some of your clothes so I can show everyone all of your amazing embroidery. Backbeat Entertainment is playing the music. The guys are dancing in the back. Kozuba Whiskey Company and Triple Point Design. You've got to check out their website as well. They have some amazing remodels. They do beautiful work. Enough with all of this. I know what you're waiting for. Toby Martini, come on down. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Thanks for coming. Take a seat. Yeah.
Take this one.
So, yeah. So you've got the blue juice, I see.
Yes, unofficially sponsored.
I've got the red juice. Oh, yeah, it's not sponsored, so we'll cover it.
Unofficially sponsored. One day they will give me millions because I drink.
Well, you know, I mean, it is live on the Dr. Jaime show. We should be getting something out of this, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Contact Mountain Dew people.
Yeah, Mountain Dew. I'll send you the bill, Mountain Dew. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we begin, we always have the guest sort of talk to us a little bit, and the viewers, about something bizarre, interesting, or unique that very few people know about you, or nobody.
Yeah. Well, it's just unusual. Most people know me in my past. Before I became speaker, I have done web design for 20 years.
Okay.
So everybody thinks of me as a computer head. But the truth is, I have a degree in anthropology because, you know, the study of people. And after I graduated and I went out in the world and I found that there were no anthropologist wanted signs anywhere.
Yeah, you know, I haven't seen one.
No, they're rare.
Yeah,
really rare. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go back to school and get something helpful, right? I'm going to go and I'm going to make real money. So, you know, creative writing was my next choice.
Right.
So
I'm trying to think about the signs, the creative writing.
Yeah, I could write my own So I've got, you know, the studies of humans are both of those, right? And so then I spent my whole life, you know, most of my adult life as a computer guy, not talking to people. So now I'm making up for that, and all I do is talk to people.
Oh, yay! And you'll be talking to these awesome people today. So I want to go ahead and turn to the quote on the board, and I want you to tell me if you agree with it or disagree with it and why. Here is what it says. Best way to conquer stage fright is to know what you're talking about. Agree or disagree?
100% agree.
Yeah.
And it is one of the things I was going to say before I saw your quote. The best way to not be afraid of talking in front of people is to know your stuff, because what you're afraid of is looking dumb.
Right.
That's what people are afraid of from talking in front of folks. You don't want to look stupid. You don't want to say the wrong thing. And so know your stuff lets you get through.
I have to absolutely agree with you. And I already had in my mind, if he doesn't agree with that, I'm going to tell him I disagree with him, because I agree with that. So that, I don't get stage, I don't want to say I don't get stage fright anymore, but I don't really. Like, I'm okay with getting up there. However, if someone like in the media wants me to talk about a topic that I'm not super familiar on, right? Psychology is a big field.
Yeah.
I could be really great at one thing and maybe not know anything about this over here. So, and I actually, so anyways, so I would get nervous because I'm not confident in the material. In the material I speak on, I know that there could be 5,500 women in the crowd, and I could answer any single question they have. I have no, but I just got an agent emailed me and asked me if I wanted to do a segment on like brain trauma and abuse. I know a little bit about it. I don't know everything. I don't know enough to go on national television and talk about the mechanics of the brain after like extensive trauma. I said no, and it was hard to not do it, because you want it. Sometimes you want those speaking gigs, or sometimes you want to go on national television for the publicity, but you don't want that publicity. So anyways, I have to agree with it too.
So the thing that you said was you don't get stage fright anymore. Well, maybe a little, but the thing is, the one step beyond there where I live and I want people to get to is everybody, no matter what, when you're going to go talk in front of people, you be on camera, you feel a little something in your stomach.
I do.
You feel a little something. Yeah. And most people go, oh, that's nerves. Oh, that's fear. Oh, I've got the butterflies in my stomach.
Yeah.
For me, I go, ooh, there's the energy I need.
Yes.
Right? There's nothing wrong. At first, it's like a semantic argument because it's just words. But the truth is, if I don't feel this, I go, oh man, I better do something. Otherwise, it's going to be boring.
Mountain Dew. I need to take a Mountain Dew.
Slows me down. Slows me down to human speed.
Yeah, no, I do. I get the butterflies, but I do my best to sort of change that into energy.
Yeah, but over time,
yes.
right? The more you do that, it just naturally happens. So now I'm so the other way. If I don't feel it, it's a problem, right? I know I'm gonna have to do something, or oh, this is gonna be boring, so I better do something.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna get into some questions here. I guess we want to know who you are. Are you a dad? Are you a husband? What do you do? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
And I do lots of stuff. I am a dad and a husband. I am both of those things. I have 3 little boys who are 9, 11, 14. Boys, all ruckus all the time.
Yeah, we've got 2. Well, technically, I got him, so 3.
Yes, when you well, my wife has 4. It's a real problem. But yeah, and the difference is when you have 2, you can play man-to-man. When you get 3, you're outnumbered. You have the zone. Somebody's always running free. It's harder.
Oh,
but
the troubles of fatherhood.
Yeah, but it's fun. I mean, I dig them. They're all super smart and funny and teach me patience. And then I have been married for, well, I've been with my wife for 27 years. Okay. We just had our anniversary a couple weeks ago.
Nice. And
so we're doing fine. She puts up with this constantly.
Nice job, wife.
Yeah, wife. Lori. Yeah.
Shout out.
What else? I mean, that's.
Any pets?
Yeah, well, we have a dog and a cat and a frog. We had a frog, which we thought would last a couple of weeks, and we've had it for 2.5 years. My wife is so tired of changing that thing.
Yeah.
And my wife watches other people's dogs, so we almost always have 2 or 3 other dogs in our house. So it's fun. We like it. And she always gets to vet them first, so we've never had a bad dog. It's always fun. Yeah. And you get new friends all the time.
I can't do the animal thing anymore. Wes and I did the animals, but right now I got to focus on the kids. I can't do the pet hair. We have a picture of Blake when he was a baby, and I'm like, I got it framed, so beautiful. You see it on the cell phone. You think it's great. They blew it up. There's a dog hair in his mouth next to the bottle. I can't. So maybe when they move out and I have that empty nest syndrome, I'll get like all of these cats.
Oh, but the kids love having new
I know they do. They love having them, but I don't like. I'm gonna be changing, scooping the poop.
This guy won't do it.
And Wes won't do it, and I won't do it. Wait, maybe your wife will come over and
pay her.
Okay, how did you get into public speaking, this improv industry? How did this happen? We're a creative writer. How did you get?
Yeah, for a computer guy actually, right? Because I've been doing computers for so many years. I was teaching courses at an adult education place called Baywinds, used to be here. And at Baywinds, I was teaching Photoshop and JavaScript and HTML, like the computery stuff. And a girl came to work there. She had been at Second City in LA, which is improv. So I was teaching my class. She was teaching improv class. She was doing marketing and such too. And she said, you should take this class. You seem fun. I said, all right, I'll take it. And at the end of that class, she went to everybody and said, to one person, you do really good voices. Do a little more with your body. And to the other person, you have great characters, but you need to slow down. You talk too much. And then she looked at me, she goes, you are a natural, you should do this. And I went, oh, thank you very much, right?
Nice.
And then a week later, she invited me to be in a group. And I said, well, I've never done any. I was in one class for 3 days. And she goes, that's okay, you'll do fine.
Wow.
And so then I've been doing it for 17 years, and it's the best thing in the world. I love improv.
Wow. Are you still in touch with the girl that introduced you to that class?
We're Facebook friends. Yep. She'll send me people now and again. She works at the airport. She's a marketing person at the airport. Hi, Carrie Getz.
Hey, shout out. Thanks for changing this man's life.
Yeah.
So awesome. Excellent. Okay, so that was kind of the path to get there.
And then I'll add that. So that was improv, and I just love improv, and being on stage and having fun is great. But I'm a personal development junkie. I read every book I can find. I love to go to seminars. I love to find out why people do what they do and how to do that better.
What's your favorite book of all time?
Oh God, it's hard to say. I like so many. I'll tell you one that changed me the most because I read it early was Andrew Weil, Your Optimal Life in 6 Weeks or something like that.
Okay.
Changed my diet, changed my mode, changed my thoughts on the world, made me bring flowers into the house, changed my life.
Oh, I want you to read that book, Wesley.
It's old. It's 25 years old.
What's it called?
Andrew Weil, 6 Weeks to Your Optimal Life, something like that.
I am just starting, tell me if this is good or not, Blue Ocean Strategy. Have you read that? So, middle? I'm on page 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. The idea is good, and it's not. It's scary. Because Blue Ocean is, I want to go out and be in an industry where there is nobody, right? Blue, open waters, right? Because red waters are where the sharks are, and everybody's getting up. So you go out where there is nobody else and you're on your own. The problem with that is you might be doing something nobody wants. That's the scary side of it. Competition means people want that.
Yes.
So.
Or maybe trying to find a way, I haven't read it, but maybe separating yourself from the competition. I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to read, that's what I'm reading right now. So get his book, get my book. We'll see what.
I'll read the book.
And then get this book.
I'm almost done with the book.
You are?
Yeah, I am. I'll tell you about it more later.
Well, tell us really quick.
No, I'll tell you later.
All right.
No, I'll tell you. So my book is called Wing It and Win, and it's about using improv to be better in everything you do in your life. Because improv fixes relationships, it keeps businesses together. It's fantastic.
Well, I want to hear more about it in a moment, and Improv fixed the microphone today. So you're right, it helps in every area of life. Okay, so anything else about your journey? So your journey, anything else that we're
No, I just put that together. I took personal development, the love of that, and with improv games. So I play improv games, get people shaking up in their head a little bit, and then here's some new stuff that you had never considered before. And it's gangbusters. It's great.
I love it. And we're gonna do a little activity later on, and I'm gonna improv.
Yeah,
so I think this whole show is it. I mean, like all my shows are improv, right? I mean, they are.
Ish.
Here we go, ish, right?
Well, like I said earlier to Wes, the thing is, you can play it all you want.
Yeah.
You can plan every single thing down to the minute if you want, and you're still going to have to improvise because nothing goes according to plan. Never.
Nothing. Ever. We've had a lot of funks here on the show, right, Wes? Yep. I left my cell phone on the floor, my cell phone's gone off, I mean, we've had it all happen.
Me too.
So, okay, good. Yeah, is it?
You can go off and own it.
He's like, son of a...
Yeah, I totally left it on.
Okay.
Don't call me now.
Improvacateur. Improvacateur. Improvacateur.
Yeah. It's like a matador for drinks.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah, it's very
good. With a martini phrase. I'll just take both. What is this?
Yeah, so improvacateur, I made that up. There's a word that's called agent provocateur, and it's somebody who incites rebellion, right? Who causes a shift, right? They go out and they use propaganda and they make the world change somehow. And so I do improv, and so I put those words together, improvacateur. I thought it sounds good, kind of French. Yeah. You know, it's worldly.
You should put like a little above it, so people are like, wow.
I need I need an there. But the deal is also, which you said before, is that it rings up provocative.
Yes.
Right? And provocative is what I do. I want to provoke people to think differently. So that's where that comes from.
Yep, and he does do that. So I can't wait for you to hear some more of what he says. Okay, so what is improv good for?
Everything in the whole world. It's so great. I have done workshops for couples. I've had at least a couple of couples say they're only together because they took a class and now have a different language to speak to each other. Right? It's good for businesses. I've had the same thing where I had partners who learned to talk better. Right? A husband and wife team who almost lost their business because they were fighting over it, and they learned to talk in improv.
So there's a lot of communication.
It's everything's communications, right? Everything is, and improv helps you be a better communicator. So it's better for relationships, better for business. If you're marketing, right, you want to be more creative, you want to be on the edge, right? Everything in business, like you said, you make a plan. In business, you're just making stuff up as you go. You read what you can here and there, and you take advice from people, but you're on your own feeling your way.
Yep.
And improv teaches you to be bold. Take broad steps. Don't worry about messing up, right? Mistakes are okay, right? In speaking like that, it humanizes you. It makes people say, oh, that's just a person too. It's not somebody trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is like the wave of what we're going through right now. That's why there's like live streaming like this is so popular. And it does, how many mistakes have I made on here? So many.
I've counted 12 so far.
12, thank you for counting.
Yeah.
I must be perfect. I must be perfect.
Right.
But I think that perfection, like, oh God, this has to be a perfect show. This has to be, I don't think I would have these shows.
You wouldn't do them. That's the problem with perfection. You'd never put it out, right? People go, oh, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. And you never get it out. Yeah. And you put stuff out, and if it works, it does, and then you can improve it. If it doesn't work, you figure out what did and what didn't work, and then you can use it and you can do something else. Yeah. Right? But mistakes are grand. I'm all for them. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you hear about authors. I mean, myself, I just listened to a podcast on the Art of Charm with John Acuff, and he was talking about how his book sold millions and millions of copies. Like, I made a mistake here, I made a mistake here, I made a mistake here. Oh well, he still sold 1 million copies. Like with my book, I was nervous to put it out there. What if people don't like it? Oh, it's translated in 5 languages in 15 different countries.
And the deal is, even if there are mistakes, somebody will point that out. Oh, you don't type on page 6 or whatever. But for the millions of people who read it, who got something from it,
yes,
that's what makes the difference. Not the 5 people who care that you messed up.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
And you're not writing for them.
Yes.
You're writing to help people.
Exactly. I love it. Okay, so when it comes to public speaking, many people fear public speaking in general. Most people do. What's the first step people should take in overcoming their speaking fears?
This is a great quote, right? Know your stuff is the best thing. Rarely does anybody ever ask you to speak about something you know nothing about. Rarely, right? You're known as something, so they go, hey, you know this, come tell our people.
Yep.
So that's the main thing, the first thing. And a second thing is just a mental switch. You need to consider, when you get up on a stage, you see a crowd, and you think it's a mob, it's a crowd, and they think something. But the truth is, there is no crowd, right? There is no audience. And what I mean by that is, each person who's sitting there is just one person sitting in a chair. Every single one sits in a chair and they watch you going, I hope she's good, right? They don't think of themselves as an audience, right? They don't think of themselves as part of a mass. Each one is a single person. So when you're on stage, I'm talking to one person.
Yes.
And I'm talking to this one person. And I'm talking to this one person. Like that. I'm only talking to one person at a time. Even if there's 700 people in the room. I can't see them all in the back, but I can talk to this one person and give them a sentence. And I can give this person an idea. And as long as I'm looking some one person in the eye, it feels like a single conversation. It's better for you, right? It's better for me because it calms our nerves. It's also better for the audience because you're talking to one person and everybody feels like they're connected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that almost reminds me of how, like, when you break down goals, you've got this big goal and you break it up into smaller parts so it doesn't seem so overwhelming. It's almost a similar thing. You've got this huge audience and you're just breaking it down to one person. Okay, one person. So it kind of simplifies
it's just one person at a time, and that's a thing that you want to do anyway, because if you go to Toastmasters or any speaking training, they say, have good eye contact with people. Look at people in the eye. The problem is sometimes people will look at everybody's eyes. They look around like this real fast and they're looking at everybody's eyes, but there's no connection to that. And so one person, here's a thought for you. Here's another thought for you, right? One at a time, and I'm getting good eye contact because for me, I'm one person talking to one person.
I love it. One tip that I could share with you all is one thing that I've learned along the way is when you start a presentation, ask a question. So I'll ask a question like, how many women, if I'm doing a women's seminar, you know, feel that, right, we talk about work-life balance, how many right now feel that they're just underwater and drowning? So let's say we've got a room of 40, let's just say. You get like some of them, and I always have them cover their eyes. So cover their eyes, and then you got them, and then maybe there's like 5 women that raise their hand. Well, I know during certain parts of the segment to look at that person.
For sure, because I have something for you.
Yes, I have something for you, and it does make that connection. So, okay, great.
Can I have one last bit?
Oh, please do.
It's woo-woo and fun.
One here.
Love the people.
Okay.
Just love the people, right? If people are there, they want to learn something. And so, you know, I'm a guy, so it sounds a little weird, right? But I am very much into love the people enough that you want them to get what they came for, right? And that makes it about them and not me, and it helps make any fears go away as well.
Yeah.
Right? I love you, and I want you to get this. And if I see somebody who looks confused or they look perturbed, I want to look at them again and go, oh, I hope you get this, right? And so it's that love for that person that creates connection too.
Well, and that
takes off you.
Yeah, and but that shows your passion too. Like you're there because I want you to understand this. I want you to get better. I want you to succeed.
Yeah, right.
So
100%.
There's that passion.
But you never hear speakers talk about that.
No,
you know, here's a tip: look people in the eye. Right? They say stupid stuff, but really, honestly, if you love the people, they will love you back, probably, right? And you care, then they know you care, and then you're a better speaker, and they're a better audience.
Yes, and you're a better speaker in their eyes, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay. What's your biggest fear? What's your biggest fear with presenting?
Oh, with presenting? So far, I've never had a bad presentation.
Okay.
Right? This sounds all ego-y, and I'm tapping myself in the back. So my only fear, and I don't carry it around, it's not in front of me, but once in a while, like when I'm not speaking, like today at 3 in the afternoon, I'm doing nothing, I might go, ooh, I have a presentation Friday. I hope it's not the one. You know, because we all have that. You know, because if you ever read any speaking book on how to get better, they go, it's not if you'll have a bad time, it's when. There will be some audience who doesn't like you. There will be some group that was forced to be there, and they have the wrong idea about what you're supposed to do. And so at some point that could happen. It doesn't eat me up. You know, I'm not torn by it.
You think,
but when you say, what are you afraid of speaking? I'm like, nothing. I'll talk to anybody at any time for anything. Right? I usually say this. You could come up to me and go, hey, we're next door at the convention center. We've got 500 people, but our speaker can't be here. His car broke down. Can you go talk to them? I go, yeah. What about? Yeah, I'd say yes first. And then what about? Because I can talk about anything and make it relatively engaging and somewhat educational. Something, yeah. I don't have to know everything about it to talk about it, right?
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be physics.
I couldn't do physics.
I don't know much about physics. If they're a real high-level group of physicists and they're expecting a technical talk, that's not what they're going to get. But I bet I could teach them something they don't know and make them enjoy the time and felt like it wasn't wasted.
I love it. Yeah. I in that case, if I had to do that, I would try to do something to like get them involved where they're like kind of doing that.
That's what I do all of the time. I'm 100% about interactive.
Yes.
I want people standing, talking in groups, in 2s and 3s, and in groups that my thing
and
is
it holds
tons
attention
of
longer.
Absolutely.
And you know, the truth is, no matter how interesting you are, you can people do fade off after a certain amount of time. Research shows that. So if you can find a way, they teach you, you know, when you do presenting, to find ways to bring it back after so many minutes. So
yeah, for me, if I'm talking straight for 10 minutes, I've gone too far.
Yeah.
You can't just talk at people for 10 minutes. Sadly, most speakers do.
Like 50.
They'll talk for 30 minutes, 50 minutes, just in a row, and they'll have said, hold all your questions until the end, right? And you're not allowed to talk, and you can't raise your hand, and they don't do anything. But that's the vast majority of speakers are doing that, and it's wrong.
Well, you talked about like you'll have. I know. Did you?
So.
There's this little mat flying around us. Talk about improv. He's like, I'm gonna improv. So I spoke for a place, whatever. I'm not gonna say exactly. And they knew who my population of people was based on this work-life balance. So when you work-life balance, typically for me, it's like 25 to probably around like 52, somewhere in that. Well, the crowd I had, like, I think the youngest one, and it's not to say I can't speak to this group, it just didn't fit the topic, was like 70 and older. Some were like in their 90s.
And they don't have work.
And they're not trying to, and they've already got it.
Yeah.
They don't care about this little stuff anymore. You know, they're over it, they're balanced, they're not working, their kids are grown. And I just was, it wasn't, you know, you talk about those bad ones. I gave a great speech, I think, but it wasn't delivered the right way because it just wasn't my age group. So we've all been there. So, and that's part of just making mistakes. Do you think that was the last time I ever spoke? No.
Right, I'm done.
I'm done. I wasn't perfect. Nope, you just get up and you go on.
But I have seen people where that is the case. They had a bad problem. They did one time, they messed up, they said something wrong. I had a girl who said she was a arranger of the event. She wasn't really supposed to be on stage, but something happened, kind of like you joked earlier. The main speaker was late.
Okay.
And she came out and said, hey, I'm sorry he's late. It'd probably be 10 minutes. But here's some stuff. And she started trying to talk a little bit, but she wasn't prepared. She didn't know what to do. And she ended up crying and running off the stage.
Oh.
And so then she didn't talk to anybody in a group larger than 3 for 20 years.
Wow.
Right? And then she came to Improv Workshop, and then she joined Toastmasters, and now she can talk in front of people. I've seen her do it.
Wow.
So.
Wonderful. Yeah, it is. It's the fear, but you got to power through that. You just got to move on. You're going to make a mistake at some point. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So just a really quick question. Are we supposed to picture the people in the crowd naked?
Yeah.
There's only one person.
Yeah. Hey, Wes, how you doing? Stand up, will you? No, it's foolishness. It's ridiculous.
Wait. I'm still thinking.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
But you can go back to memory. No, it's stupid advice. It's crazy. You have enough problems remembering what you're going to talk about and trying to look smart that you don't need to distract yourself, right, by putting that on too. And then you have other issues. And then another one that I hear quite a bit is look over their heads.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Right. Look over their heads. That way you don't catch their eye and you don't feel as embarrassed. Stupid. You have no connection.
Yes.
the best thing that you're going to do is connect with one person and honestly connect with them and go, here's a bit for you. And that person will nod and you go, okay, we're together.
What about like not the non-seasoned speaker? Like what about the guy that's like, all right, I have a meeting with like 14 people and I have to give a presentation. It's my first one. In that case where he's brand new at it, should he kind of look over their heads just to get through that first one?
Don't do it. No, look at people. Honestly, the best thing is think of each person as one person, right? It's not a crowd. It's never an audience. They do not think of themselves as audience. So you look at one person and you share something. And that person will smile and nod when they get it. And then you'll go, oh, I shared, they got it. And the good thing about that is the people that you're not looking at, they feel connected too. They still get it because you're connecting with one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're excited when you connect with them then. And they're like, oh, she's included.
If you're afraid, just remember, love the people, want to share, want to get them to get it, right? For me, it's a mission to make sure they get it. And remember that they're for you, and it's only one person in the chair. And
then going back to that, make sure that you know what you're talking about, because otherwise it'll be a rough speech for you. Okay, so there are people that would like to take the improv speaking route that you're on. Okay, there's a little humor to it as well. Any tips for the person who is not funny but wants to be?
It's tricky because, look, there are some people who will never be funny. I'm sorry, it's just the way. But when I do workshops, I never promise when you're done, you'll be hilarious. I never promise you'll know comedy. But what I can teach you is how not to be terrible, right? How not to put your foot in it, how not to put your foot in your mouth, how not to step in it, right? Here's some things to avoid. And if you then learn how to be a little quicker on your feet in total, you don't have to remember a bunch of jokes. You just need to be able to react to what people are saying. Yes, I think that's the key. So the people that I found in my life that think that they're funny, that they're not, they're like memorizing jokes. Right, they're remembering lines from movies. Yeah. It was funny there, it must be funny everywhere. Right. No, it doesn't work that way. No, but the improv, like playing off of each other, that is funny. And I think we're gonna do that in a little bit, so you guys can, okay. And I'll tell you real quick that, you know, having done hundreds of shows, they're fun and funny, and the audience comes up after, I love this part, right, and it's nice. The very best part is after the show. You've got 10 improvisers sitting around a table, right, eating at the Perkins, right? And we're just eating, having a good time. Maybe 2 or 3 of the audience have come along with us, and they're always like, this is better than the show, right? Because we're not putting stuff up. We're just talking, and we're relatively smart, funny people, right? And so we're talking about the same thing anybody would. It could be politics or anything, but we always have a spin and something else about it. And so it's just riff. Yeah. You know, and it is the best. Well, even think about it with your friends when you're playing off of each other and you're just like joking. Like sometimes those are the most hilarious moments. Yeah. Okay, top 2 things people do during presentations that are super bad or annoying and they need to stop right now. Go. Some of the stuff we already talked about, that's easy. Okay. Don't picture people naked. One thing, you kind of said this a little bit, people, some speakers think that interactivity is getting people to raise their hand. And that's the full extent of their interactivity. How many of you want to make more money? Yay! That's not enough, right? It's not enough. You need to get people to stand up, talk to each other, get people to literally answer questions to you out loud. But for me, it's getting people out of their chairs is a good thing. But most don't, and they think interactivity is hyping them up, getting them to raise their hand, and that is weak. It's weak. And everybody stand up, turn to your left, and massage the shoulders of the person in front of you. The next speaker I see do that, I'm going to punch in the head. I've never done that. It is so annoying. Oh my God. Don't do that. I don't want the man next to me massaging my shoulders. Right. So, well, she points at me. Like, I'm free. Right. But you don't. It's people you don't know, and they think, oh, well, I'm going to create some interactivity and get them to know each other. No, you're not. You're making 100 people feel really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. It's the worst. Yeah. That's. Yeah. And what if they have like no? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no massage. And I was going to say something too. Massage. No massaging. Oh, but you do have to be careful. So. One thing I've learned, because you have to be kind of seasoned at this. So if you get them interacting and you ask someone a question,
sometimes there's that one person that's like, okay, but what about this? And what about this? Well, my daughter moved from Africa to the US and now she's in Europe and she's like, she's sad over there. And I don't know what to do because her boyfriend's calling her.
It's a 20-minute question.
And I'm like, oh my God, my speech.
Yeah. So one thing I generally do agree with, keep your questions to the end. I'm okay, right? I'm an improviser. If you ask a question, I can handle it in the middle. But it's generally better to tell people to wait till the end. And then, just as a pro tip, get to your question section, answer people's questions, but that's not the end. Make sure you have a bit still to do, like 5 minutes. Right? So don't wait till the very end, because if you do questions last, you have no control over how this thing is ending. It could end on that annoying person. And then everybody, people remember the end of the whole thing. And so now you look terrible because you let that person end the show.
That's a great point. So, and then you can always cut that person off and say, you know what, that is an interesting topic. You know what, pull me, you come up first afterwards and we'll talk about that.
Talk to me after. Maybe I'll put you in my book.
Maybe. Or we'll talk about you on the show and in front of you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, stop.
Never mock people.
Okay, just move on. Okay, can you show, improv game time. Okay, all right. So I need to know, will I be harmed? He has a game.
Yeah, I just told her I was going to bring a game. Most improv games are for a group, right? Most are for 5, 6, 8 people, but I brought one that we can do just by ourselves. It's very easy. It doesn't require jumping around or rubbing anybody's shoulders.
What about math?
There could be, but I doubt it.
Okay, good. I'll play that.
It's up to you.
Do I need, wait, I have a buzzer. Well, listen.
No, we don't need a buzzer.
I don't need a buzzer.
I say blah, blah, blah too much. As examples. I went to the store and I talked to this person. I was like, blah, 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 stop. It's not words. So we're going to do a simple game. And it's this. We're going to tell a story. Have you heard stories?
I have heard stories.
Okay. Stories generally have a beginning, a middle, and an end. We have to remember that. And I have to point that out.
We're pulling out the creative writing of coming out.
Right. You have to know that because I know you know it, but when we play the game, you lose your mind and you forget. Stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. All right. And we're going to do a story about somebody to something. And what we're going to do is one word at a time.
Okay, that's hard. That's hard for me because I usually say like 30 words.
Right. For me too. I'm a motor mouth. But having to do one word at a time slows you down and you're not in charge of it. Right. And so once
a
time
I
went
to
the
store
and
saw
a
pig.
This
pig
was
so
enormous
that
I
could
practically
eat
it whole. She says whole. All right.
I can't do it.
But
I
did
not
eat
it
then.
So
I
went
to
my
butcher
and fired him.
She doesn't want to eat the pig. All right. So that's
I
because you have no idea where it's going to go. And then, like there, you had to say more words because you feel like I'm trying to drive it towards maybe we're going to eat the pig. And you don't want to. But if you only get one word at a time, you don't get to drive. You know?
Oh, my loss of control right there. Okay. There were no pigs harmed in the making of this.
Until afterwards.
Until afterwards. Oh, Wes, we're going to play that game. That's a good game. Okay, what is wing it and win?
Oh, that's my main term, my main phrase. The workshops that I do that are local, just for people, it's called Wing It and Win. My book that I'm 98.3% done with is called Wing It and Win. And it's contrarian, right? Most speaker trainers, most business coaches tell you plan, plan, plan.
Correct.
You have to plan things.
Yes.
And I agree, you should plan things, but like we said earlier, nothing goes according to plan. Things always get off.
You might eat a pig whole.
Yes, it's terrible to eat a pig whole. What happens is things go off the rails and then people are flustered. And then when you're flustered, when you're thrown, you're not at your best. I teach people how not to get thrown. So wing it and win is occasionally you're going to not have any reins, right? Let them go, right? You're not going to have any reins. Your plan is off the rails. You don't know what to do. You're going to have to wing it. So do plan, but be prepared. Read my book. take my class, right? So that when things go off the rails, you're able to wing it. You're able to wing it well.
Yes, and I think, again, that goes back to letting go of perfectionism, letting go of plan of being too over planned. Sometimes we're really lost in the plan. When are you going to be done with this book? We're going to hold you.
Three months ago. I'm right close to done. I have to write like a chapter and then edit.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I'm going to be your coach and I'm going to be on you.
Right, and then I'm going to have to pay somebody to edit it, and so it looks, because you can't edit your own stuff, you're too close to it. Okay. So I'll do a draft, and then you have other eyes on it, and then I hope to have it.
March?
Yeah, by March for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then we'd be able to go to Amazon or go to your website and look for it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wing
it and win. Okay, and I'm winging it right now because my clock died on me and I have no clue what time it is.
10:16.
10:16. Okay, great. We've got 24 minutes. Okay, ish, right? Okay,
14.
I don't know. 14, whatever. I don't know. I'm not good at math. Thank God I ate the pig bowl and we didn't do math. Okay, how can you prepare for an impromptu speech? So, like someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, we need you last minute. Can you do this?"
I got to go back to this because this is the thing. People aren't going to ask you to speak about something you don't know. Okay. Just never. Nobody says go speak to 100 people about something you don't know. Never. Know your stuff. Feel confident in it. That is the best thing that you can do. For a speech structure, just remember, I have an intro and an outro and 3 points.
Okay, I like this. Okay, that's good.
It's not every speech is that, right? But if I have to make up something immediately, I'm going to say, here's my intro. In my intro, I'll have a thesis, right? Like, just like in school. In my intro, I'm going to make a declaration. This is some way, or here's how you do this, or here's what you're going to get. And then I give 3 supporting things for that. Either 3 ways to do it, or 3 stories about it, 3 pieces of information to support my thesis. Okay. And then my outro is, remember what I said. This, that, and the other thing. Go do it now.
That's a great layout.
It's super easy, and it's
not
every
back
speech, but
that's how you do it. The intro, the 3 points.
Yep. Okay. Intro is your thesis, 3 points to support it, and then outro is, I hope you got all that. Okay. Yeah.
Fabulous. Easy tip. Okay. In one of your workshops, I was reading on your website, TobyMartini.com.
TobyMartini.com.
Just plug it that. Got that? Okay. In one of your workshops, you indicate you will learn to access your memory in a different way. Never be stuck again. I'm terrible with remembering names. Yeah. Is there any hope for me, or no?
Totally. It is. You have to take my workshop to get it because there's a section on remembering names. Okay. I learned how to remember names because I would be on stage for an hour or 90 minutes, and in that time, I might play 6 different characters, and I will be in scenes with other people. So I have to remember, I'm Bill, you're Fred, and she's Susie. Okay. I got to remember that.
I'm Jamie, and that's Wes.
Right.
Okay.
And I got to remember that because 20 minutes later, the 3 of us will show back up.
Okay. And you have to.
And I got to remember, oh yeah, she was Fred and he was Susie. You're like, I got to remember that.
Okay.
And so I just figured out, oh, I'm doing this somehow. So I broke down, how am I doing that? What am I doing in order to remember names? Okay. So I can teach you. Okay. You get to come workshop. But I can give you.
Can I have one little hint?
Step 0.
Okay, step 0.
Step 0.
Okay, come to your workshop.
No. Okay. Literally what you just said, never say it again. Okay. You said, I'm terrible at remembering names.
Okay, yeah,
right?
I should know this.
Your brain does what you tell it to do, right? It does. It tries to. It does everything it can to make you happy. If you say, I suck at remembering names, your brain goes, okay.
We suck at this.
We suck at this. We're terrible. And you just keep repeating that because you do all the time. Yep. 80% of everybody does. 90% of all statistics are made up by a speaker in order to look smarter. But 80% of people say they suck.
And I believe you because you sounded smart when you said that. TobyMartini.com.
But so everybody says they suck at it. And you keep reinforcing it, and you keep reinforcing it, so your brain puts no cycles into it when you need it. Yes. And then when you really need it, you go, all right, this event, I got to meet these people right there. I've heard they're important. I've got to remember their names. And you try. You tell your brain, you say, brain, I really want you to do it this time. And your brain goes,
we suck at this.
But generally we suck at this, remember? I'm not going to try real hard. Yeah. And just turn it around. Look, you know hundreds of names. Yeah. You do. Honestly, you know hundreds of names. Everybody in your family, your friends, some of the people from high school. Yep. If you saw by their face, you'd know them. Okay. Literally hundreds, no matter what you think. Okay. So you know hundreds. You're doing pretty good.
Thank you. I already feel better.
I'm doing pretty good, and I'm getting better. That's it. It's never I suck at it. I'm doing pretty good, and I'm getting better.
I love it. And I talk about this in every capacity of life with these people.
Right.
I need to work on it for that.
Right. And we all have that.
Yes.
There are some things I teach where somebody will reflect to me and I'll go, oh, God, I teach that. Why do I?
Yeah.
Yep. It happens to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
TobyMartini.com.
.com.
Okay. Moving on. Okay, we talked a little bit about planning and it being a waste of time. So we're is there anything
it's never a waste of time, right?
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I think it was Eisenhower.
Okay. Give us
a plan.
80% of Eisenhower.
A plan is useless, but planning is invaluable.
Okay, because it's an action.
It's the art of planning. It's the effort of thinking through where things might go that's helpful to you.
Okay.
Having a plan doesn't matter because it's going to change anyway. But it's the thinking about where you're going to go and how you're going to do it that is good for you.
I love it.
So it's smart to do, but it's going to go differently, and you better be able to handle what it changes.
And don't get so immersed in it. So often people just get so stuck on the plan. They're like, and then they get overwhelmed. Well, what if that happens? What if that happens? What if that happens? And then they just shut down and never do it.
Everything, and like I said earlier, everything's communications, including communications with yourself. You have a little chatter in your head all the time that's saying, don't do this. You're not very good at that. Watch out for this. You know, it's doing that. Get better at hearing it.
Okay.
Right? You can't shut that voice up, right? We all have it. And some people go, shut that voice up, ignore it. You can't, it's you.
It keeps talking.
And it knows your buttons, right? It knows how to get you to do stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't say people ignore it. I say get better at hearing it. Because here's the thing. Your voice is constantly telling you in your head to do things and not do things. If you don't hear it, you just do it. It says you're afraid to speak, and you don't even think you're afraid to speak. You just go, oh, I can't, I don't have time, I don't want to. You know, you think of 19 reasons.
Yep.
The real reason is your brain already decided for you, right? And you didn't hear it.
That's why they say awareness is so important, because when you're aware of it, you can change it. And that's fear talking right there.
You want to be part of the conversation that's going on in your head. Hear it so you can go, oh, that was just fear. I get it, right? Don't worry, we're safe. Let's go be successful.
Yep. Or maybe you're going to be right. Maybe I will make a mistake, but I'm going to try it anyway. Yep. So, okay. Okay, what's your favorite part of this business?
It is, so I love people. I'm a people person 100%. If I take a values chart, a little round robin, this one or that one, this one or that one, it's always contribution, right? For me, it's, did I make a change over there? So my very favorite piece of my business is in a workshop, and I've seen somebody struggle with something, and then all of a sudden it dawns on them, right? There's a frisson, right? There's a moment where they just get it, and I go, yes, yay!
That's how you know he's doing what he loves.
Yeah, right, because it's juicy. You love it, and it's the best. And then afterwards, I had people come 6 months later go, this one thing you taught me has changed my life.
I know.
I taught you 50 things. Cool. I'm glad. It doesn't matter if you don't remember the rest. The one thing that changed your perspective and makes you happy, you win. I win.
And I have so many stories I could share about that, and we don't have time for it, but it's so amazing when one person comes up to you that you, maybe in my case, sometimes I've never even met them, and they're like, you did this, or you said this, and it changed my life. And that is like, that's why I keep doing this. That's why I keep going, because that motivates me when they say that. So never be hateful. Always send me your nice comments, because they make my life happy. Okay, what's your least favorite part?
I love the work of my work.
Okay.
And I hate the business of my business.
Okay.
I hate accounting and scheduling and anything that is repetitious, right? Like marketing, I love marketing. I think marketing is fantastic. I love talking to people. I love sharing a message. I love helping people figure out a message. But again, everything's communication. I love that. What I hate is scheduling marketing events, right? I have to tweet, and I have to do this, and I have to do. As soon as I have to do something every day, I'm over it.
He's out.
Somebody else needs to do that.
I'm glad he scheduled this, because I'm glad you're here.
Thanks.
Schedule that. Okay, so on a little bit of a serious note, so there are people out there. Yep.
Yes.
TobyMartini.com. Okay, so there are some people in this field of speaking. They're great at it. They love what they do. There's a travel component to some of it, and they have families like you. So how can they sort of, maybe they're not happy in it. What can they do to sort of have that balance a little bit more?
It's tricky because I built my business the right way for me.
Okay.
Right? Which is, and it's not perfect, right? It doesn't run on all cylinders all the time. But for me, I'm never away from home.
Okay.
More than a day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And not more than one day every 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, I'm rarely far away. I do regional. I'm close. I might go to Orlando. I could go to Miami, but I don't want to. So I built mine so I don't. There's enough big businesses in this Tampa Bay area that it's a farm, right? There's enough people around. So do I have tips for traveling? Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Right? I was talking to Chris Kerminsos.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So we were talking and he's like, yeah, I know these speakers and he wanted to bring people for an event. And he goes, but all the good speakers, they're always away. They're always traveling. I go, that's not true. I don't know. They may or may not be good speakers, but you don't have to make it where you're traveling all the time.
Yes.
I'm not for it.
Yeah. I'm not for it either. It's not, you get this when you first start out, at least for me. It was like, oh, you get to travel and you get to do all these things. That's so cool. But it's not. It's layovers and it's waiting and it's your family missing you. And so
it's fun for 6 months.
It's fun for 6 months and then you're over it. And then it's not this life that you thought. So if you do have to travel all the time, my biggest tip to you for the work-life balance is FaceTime your family every day, all the time. Try to bring them with you if you have an opportunity.
You can make that part of your contract.
Yeah, that's a great point. Okay.
Which is crazy because often they would pay to bring your family along with you and they wouldn't have paid you more money. Right?
Yep.
I want $5,000. I want 6. No, we can't do that. Can I bring my family? Sure. That's going to cost an extra $2,000.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe they're not
good at math. Like I'm not good at math. So whatever. Okay. I guess. Okay, we're almost on time. But real quick, did you have a mentor along your journey?
I've had various mentors. I haven't had one single person. I had a couple of good coaches. I had a great coach who taught me to charge more. Right? And how do you do that? And how do you be okay with it? And it was great. The day I went from, I was making a couple of $100 for a speech, and then I jumped to 3,500 in 1 minute, right? Because I had a big client who said, we would like to have you. And I called my coach and go, hey, how much do I ask for? And he goes, well, how much do you think? I go, $2,000, that's a stretch. I mean, I think that's a lot. He goes, ask 3,500. I go, I'm having a problem with $2,000. You're asking me to practically double it. He goes, just try it. What's the worst that happens? Then you have to negotiate. And I think, we all think, oh, if I say too much, they're going to just say, nah, never mind. But no, people will negotiate.
Yes, they will.
You know what happened in that instance? I called, they said, how much? I said, 3,500. They said, okay, come and get it. That was it.
You want to know what happened? Guess what happened with mine? So my very first one, I didn't have a coach to talk to on this at the time. And I submitted a proposal. And they sent it back to me and told me to raise my rates.
Nice. Yeah.
And I did. And they gave it to me.
Yeah.
But I learned, thank God I had some.
Right. So, everybody wants to have this mentor from on high. Everybody wants a Yoda, but there's not a million of them. I don't know that really happens for everybody. So what you do is you get proxy mentors, the people that are in your industry that do well. You read their stuff, you watch them on TV or watch their videos or whatever it is, and you learn from them by watching how they actually do. Because often people will try to teach you something, but that's not actually what they do. That happens a lot. So watch them closely. One of my favorite speakers ever was Jim Rohn. He was an old-time, sales kind of speaker. Him, Zig Ziglar, those kind of guys. Jim Rohn had an easy, laid-back style, just sounded like a fella talking to you, where everybody else was coming out going, "Hi, I'm a genius. You should listen to me." Right?
TonyMartini.com.
And it was just ridiculous how he was different. I'm this good old country boy from Idaho, and that's where I got my style. Like, I'm just going to go be me. I'm never going to put it on. I'm just going to walk out and I'm going to talk. If I trip, I trip. If I talk, however.
Improv.
Some people don't like it. Well, they're not my people.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that do like this improv. Okay, so where can we find out everything that we need to know about you?
TobyMartini.com.
TobyMartini.com.
Yes, TobyMartini.com. In Tampa Bay, I do a 4-week workshop, teach people to be bold in any situation, talk to anybody at any time, whether it's one-on-one, one to a small group like networking, or one to many. I'm a speaker and I want to be more animated and connected.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing to do because I'm with a group of 8 people maybe.
Okay.
We do it for 4 weeks in a row. We get really close and change people's view on the world.
So do they schedule this with you with the group, or do you have like, hey, okay, my next one's January 4th?
Next one's January 4th.
Okay.
it's going to run Saturday 10 to 1 for 4 weeks.
Okay.
And, fix your schedule and make it work.
Okay.
Yeah. Corporate world, if you're a trainer or a HR person, I can help that. But they're never, those people aren't networking, right? They're usually not out where I'm at. So I don't usually talk about corporate outside of marketing directly in corporate. So what I do for people locally, I have a workshop, and if you have to do presentations, I can coach you on that, how to make a good speech and how to do it well. I
love it. And our book is going to be out in March, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. I'll stay on them with that. Go to tobymartini.com. Okay. And you can find out everything about this awesome man, all the services he offers, how to follow him, subscribe to him, and attend his workshop. Happy Friday, and thank you so much to all of our sponsors. So many, I can't even list, but if you go through, you'll see all the amazing sponsors right here on the screen. Next week, Black Friday, go shop, enjoy your family on Thanksgiving. Then we will have Lance, a trading coach. The next time we have a show, it's going to be Lance, our trading coach, and Chris Jenkins with the Symphony Agency. That is December 1st. And we are talking Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the whole shebang. Happy Friday. Bye.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching the Dr. Jaime Show episode this week. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Do me a favor and subscribe to me on iTunes and YouTube. And of course, please give me some feedback on the show. Looking forward to reading it.